1,300 polling stations across the country tomorrow when voters head to the polls to choose the nation's next leader. Police said they will enforce the highest level of emergency security from 6 a.m. on election day until the new president officially takes office, allowing all personnel to be mobilized if needed. A suspect appeared at the Seoul Southern District Court today for an arrest warrant hearing after allegedly setting a fire on a Line 5 subway train over the weekend. The suspect is accused of pouring gasoline on clothing and igniting it while the train was running between Yeoinaru and Mapo stations early Saturday morning. He was arrested at the scene and admitted to reporters that he committed the act in protest of a divorce ruling. The fire sent 23 people to the hospital for smoke inhalation, with 129 others treated on site. Property damage is estimated at 330 million Korean won. In the aftermath, police are continuing their investigation to determine whether additional charges will be filed. Subway service was temporarily halted following the incident, but later resumed after safety inspections confirmed it was safe to operate. In local news, a day before Korea's 21st presidential election, several election law violations have been reported across Busan. A voter in Sasan-gu district was reported for taking a photo of their completed ballot and posting it online. In Busan Jingu district, police are investigating damage to a campaign poster. In Gumjeong-gu district, 28 illegal flyers related to candidates were discovered. An observer in Junggu district was also reported for damaging the seal on a ballot box. Busan City's election commission says 48 such cases have been referred to police and monitoring will be tightened through the end of the campaign. Busan City will begin compensation talks on June 5th for around 379,000 square meters of land and property affected by the Gadokdo New Airport project. After months of surveys and appraisals, compensation amounts have been finalized. Negotiations will take place at City Hall, the Gadokdo-dong Administrative Welfare Center, and the On-site Support Center. Mayor Park Kyung-jun said the city aims to complete the process within the year to ease residents concerned over delays. In international news, with all votes now counted, right-wing historian Karol Nawrocki has been elected Poland's new president. Nawrocki secured 50.9% of the vote, narrowly defeating Warsaw's liberal mayor Rafał Trzaskowski, who received 49.1%. The final result marks the dramatic turnaround from the initial exit poll released just after voting ended last night. That early projection had Trzaskowski slightly ahead with 50.3% to Nawrocki's 49.7%. Trzaskowski had initially declared victory based on that exit poll, while Nawrocki urged caution, saying the race was too close to call. And now for today's weather. The current weather in Busan area is cloudy with rain and the temperature is 19 degrees Celsius. The temperature will average around 17 degrees Celsius this evening. And that wraps up this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BFM 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is For Your Busan with Nick Greenwood. BFM 부산영어방송.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Learn comes from the Old English word lionian, which means to gain knowledge. To learn means to understand something new or get better at something by practicing. Learning is important because it helps us grow, solve problems, and reach our goals. We learn not just in schools, but every day through mistakes, reading, and talking with others. Today, we surely learn something as well. Well, hello there everybody, my name is Nick, and welcome to For Your Busan. We're going to kick things off with Bag Bad Back by Rise.
Whoa. Just key on my toes. 우리 에너지가 flow. Go get on my pose. One more. Whoa. 한 발짝 to the goal. Gold up in the summer. 젖은 내 trendy clothes. 빙빙 돌아가도 직진. 우린 우릴 믿지. At the velocity. Beep beep. 물 끄는 dream team. 지켜내고 있지. 우리 둘의 진심. Yeah. 100번째 but it's never enough. 우리가 나로 가득 채워 남은 비전. 빨간 바닥임을 따라 숨이 차오르면 나의 감상은 떠난 this fire. I'll be in my bag, 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 bag.
Please don't touch my
bag, 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 bag. I'll be in my bag, counting on my steps. 눈빛은 heavy, 우리 꿈을 담을 때 내 움직임을 I think I might just bring my bag. 터질 듯이 가방 가득 채워줄라네. No, I gotta get that. Yeah, no, I gotta get that bag. Yeah, 불가능은 이젠 참해. 흐르는 땀은 splash. Yeah, 부담이 됐던 first stage. 이제는 right to next. 한 번 더 박차고 dash. 우리가 뭉치면 못할 게 뭔데. 가득 챙겨 우리 될 때까지 해. 24 마치 불고 멈추는 법 불가능. Pedal the flow, 이제 like 슉슉 시작됐어 이미. Yeah, 지켜봐 how we make it real. 함께 흐리담이지. 다시 말까지 안에 전부 챙겨 담으러 하고뿐이지. Checks on that, 매번 deep in the bag. 포기 안 해 절대 rise, we'll continue to rise. 손과 손이 나타. 나는 소리는 다 우리 감성을 떨린 this fire. Bag, 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 bag.
Please don't touch my
bag, 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 bag. I've been in my bag, counting on my steps. 그 눈빛은 heavy, 우리 꿈을 담을 때 내 움직임을 I think I might just bring my bag. 터질 듯이 가방 가득 채워줄라네. No, I gotta get that. 뜨거웠던 하루 잠시 흐르고 다시 온 아침 내게 물어봐지 what's on my mind. But do you know 반짝이는 빛이 우리 비추고 서로의 눈 맞추며 이미 준비 끝났지 누가 우릴 막지 We are still one team. Anything you want I can do that. Walk up to the stage I like who that. 너와 나 같은 꿈을 꿀 때 Still we're rising all the way. Yeah, I'm in my bag, 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 bag.
Please don't touch my
Bag, 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 bag. I've been in my bag, counting on my steps. 두 눈빛은 heavy, 우리 꿈을 담을 때 내 움직임을 I think I might just bring my bag. 터질 듯이 가방 가득 채워줄라네. No, I gotta get that bag, bag, bag.
Please don't touch my
Bag Bad Back by Rise, welcoming you to For Your Busan this Monday afternoon. Welcome back. It's a new week, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me on this Monday. Now, I want to ask, do you enjoy learning? If so, do you like learning something completely new? Or do you prefer going deeper into a topic that you're already interested in? You know, these days there are many different ways to learn, right? Of course, we learn at school and from other people, but now digital learning is also very important. We used to have to take classes in person, right? You have to go and meet whoever is teaching you. But of course, these days we can take classes from the other side of the world, listen to lectures from people we admire anytime we want, something that was impossible in the past. And now, the city of Busan is also offering many learning opportunities. So starting this month, Busan is running a program called the 들락날락 Creative Learning Center, and that's at 38 locations, including Busan Children's Complex Cultural Space and 들락날락 Connection Space. This learning program helps children imagine and create through creative and integrated education. It takes place in places like 들락날락, which have great learning and play facilities, and it's also available at local children's centers. The new program offers 3 types of programs, such as creative arts, creative science, and creative robotics. I would have killed to be able to learn robotics when I was a kid. That's really cool that this generation is part of the generation that will be developing cool robots. Now, on weekends, there are also family-friendly classes that parents and children can enjoy together. So, if you want to learn something, go ahead and give it a try. And you know, something I've realized as I've gotten older is that learning, it never really stops. I honestly thought once I'm done with university, once I've graduated, that's it. No more learning, just working and earning money. But that I couldn't have been more wrong, because even when you're working, when you're going through life, you learn many things. And I love and enjoy learning more than ever, way more than when I actually had to learn back in school. It's quite an odd thing, isn't it? So I want to hear about your learning interest today. In the meantime, we've got hellos coming in. We've got Benny Nim, welcome to the show, saying 1등. Hi Nick, Ang PD and all. Happy Monday and June. Happy June to you. It's very weird to say that we're nearly halfway, or basically halfway through this year. I don't like to say that. Jinli Nim, welcome to the show, saying hi, Nick and Benny Nim and everyone else. Good to see you, Jinli Nim, bright and early today. I hope you had a good weekend. It's good to see you here. Drift Monkey Nim as well, saying learning is fun, I believe. So yeah, learning is absolutely fun. You never stop learning. Even when you're hitting the gym, you're learning how to target muscles, what muscles or what exercises are most beneficial for different parts of your body. So learning never stops, really, even micro-learning. Now today, I want to talk a bit about learning. Today's text topic is about the subjects that you studied in school. Not just any subjects, though. The subjects that you loved and the subjects that you hated. 네, 오늘의 텍스트 토픽은요. 학창 시절 내가 가장 좋아했던 그리고 싫어했던 과목은 무엇이었나요? What was your most loved and most hated subject that you studied at school? I'll go first, I'll be honest. I hated maths. 수학을 엄청 싫어합니다. Because I'm not that, well, I wasn't terrible at it. I'm not good. I was just like very deeply average. Probably a bit less than average, but I got by. I just didn't enjoy it. My dad he's a mathematician. He loves maths, so I think he was a bit disappointed when I didn't share his love of numbers. But love-wise, I loved psychology, and I majored in it. 심리학은 엄청 좋아했습니다. So you know, if you hate something, that's fine, because you always love another subject. Ang PD, what was your favorite subject and most 싫어했던 과목?
My favorite one was math.
No, really?
Because I can solve the problem by listening to music.
Oh, that's good. Can you do, you know, what is it in your head? Amsan? Really?
Maybe.
6 times 6. 6 times 6.
6 times 6, 36.
36. 오, 망설이셨는데. What about most hated subject?
Physics.
Physics. That's interesting because maths and physics are kind of linked in a way. 좀 비슷한 것들이 되게 많은 것 같은데요.
문과.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So Ang PD liked maths but didn't like physics. Benny Nim saying, my most loved subject was history and science, and hated one is maths. That's really interesting. Okay, that's join team hate maths. Now, I just didn't like maths. I know how important it is and how it's changed the world because of maths, right? Just personally, I wasn't a big fan. Yeah. So everyone else, let me know. You can send your numbers or your messages to #9050, 샵 9910, which costs you 101. Kakao Talk message or a YouTube live comment. What subjects did you love and hate at school? Be honest. It's fine. Everyone's different. Now, I'm going to let you know what's coming up in the next couple of hours. We're going to have Busan Times, where we catch up on the day's top stories in Busan with news anchor Claire Kim. We're going to have Nick's deep dive after that. Time to share my thoughts about everything in the world. And then the B.I.G Tour, where Jimmy takes us to the hottest spots, events and festivals in Busan. In the second half, we're going to have On the Mic, stories of Busan locals encountered on the streets of the city, and then Busan Quizmaster, a daily interactive quiz time with a prize, and then Busan's Tale, where Haley comes in and we explore some fascinating aspects of Busan that we may not have known before. So there is a lot going on today. Make sure you stick around. There are prizes to be won later. Let's have a bit of fun. Send me a message or two. Now don't go anywhere, because Busan Times is coming up next.
Stay connected to Busan's rhythm with For Your Busan, airing daily from 4:05 to 6 p.m. Blending your friends' voices with the latest information and news from our vibrant city.
Welcome back, one and all, to For Your Busan. It's 4:16 in the afternoon, and joining me to bring us the updates on Busan is Claire. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good weekend?
Yes.
Yes. Very cryptic.
Not long enough.
You're very cryptic. I mean, you should be. You're on air, to be honest. But, you know, I guess you can't get too deep into what you did when you're on air because it's TMI. It's private life, isn't it? I ask a lot of people, like, how was your weekend? And everyone says, no, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like that as well.
Yeah.
I don't get too deep.
I had a bit of I had hung out with my friends' kids.
Oh.
It was a kid-friendly weekend.
You're a kid.
I had a bit of a kid-friendly
Yeah.
weekend.
How was that hanging out with kids? Fun?
Oh, I know why the parents want to go to the 식당 restaurants with 놀이방.
Oh.
It let us eat.
Oh, you were with your friend and their kids?
Yeah, and their
Not
kids.
just the kid. Oh, okay.
No, not
Fair
with just the kids. Yeah.
You know, it reminds me of the days growing up when, you know, Mekdeng, they don't have them anymore.
I know.
I grew up with such fun times. Birthday parties over there.
Yes.
Good times. Before we move on, I want to ask you today's next topic, which is 가장 좋아했던 과목이랑 가장 싫어했던 과목은 학교에서.
I think I'm similar with Ang PD. I did not like physics much, even until the uni.
Okay.
And I loved English.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Was that when you were in Korea you loved it, or when you were in Australia you loved it?
In Korea, when I was in like high school.
That's good. That's a good attitude. Because I think sometimes when you have to learn a language, like I learned French in school, I hated it so much.
I did not like Japanese.
You learned
much.
Japanese?
I think that the only reason is I had to learn another character.
Oh, kanji,
Katakana, yes.
katakana,
Yeah.
hiragana.
I was like, alphabetic, that's enough. And the Chinese character, that's the deal for me. And then another character, no.
That's why
thanks.
I stopped learning Japanese too. Well, Drift Monkey says, 저는 학교에서 일본어 배웠어요. And that's why he
too.
loves languages as well. 상규님 said, I loved English and hated maths. 수포. Okay. I thought 수포 was like Czechs or something, wasn't it? Okay.
수포자, okay.
Okay. All right, then. Keep sending your messages in. Now, it is time to move on to Busan Times. And there is a lot coming up. Of course, there are elections.
Yes.
Tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are we going to get into first?
So first, Busan is calling on residents to share the small but frustrating rules and restrictions that affect their daily lives. From today through June 30th, the city is running a 2025 civil regulation reform contest. This initiative is all about discovering real-life issues, from unnecessary red tape to outdated processes, and finding better, simpler ways forward. The goal is to eliminate barriers that get in the way of work, family life, small business, or public safety.
So the city's asking citizens to help fix the system.
Exactly. Anyone can submit. Individuals, local companies, schools, even organizations. They're especially looking for ideas in 5 key areas. First one is population change, like rules that make parenting harder. Second, jobs and housing, especially for youth and seniors. Third, small net business hurdles, like outdated permits. And another one, low birth rate challenges such as limited childcare support. And lastly, public safety issues like rules that delay emergency services.
That's a pretty broad scope. So, you're asking the citizens to solve these problems. Like, what are the citizens getting out of this?
So besides the chance to make Busan a better place, there's a reward system. The city will select 8 winners. First one grand prize winner gets 1 million Korean won. 2 second place winners get 500,000 won each. And 5 honorable mentions will receive 300,000 won. All winners will also receive official commendation from the mayor.
Okay, nice. So recognition with real value and some monetary compensation too.
Yes, exactly. And they're not stopping at prizes. If a suggestion involves national laws, the city will work with government ministries to propose revisions. If it's something Busan can fix directly, like local ordinance, they'll take action on their own.
So it's not just a PR campaign, it's policy making from the ground up.
That's the hope. And to encourage more ideas, the city will also randomly select 100 participants to receive mobile gift cards. So even if your idea doesn't win a top prize, you still might walk away with something.
That's great. So where do people send their ideas to?
So there are 3 easy ways. First one, you can submit online through the Busan City website. Second, send it by email to busan@korea.kr or post it the old-fashioned way to City Hall. Just head to the Busan City website and search for the selection called Civil Regulation Reform Contest. You'll find all the details there.
Great. So if you've ever wondered, why is this rule even a thing? Now's the time to complain.
Yes.
Tell them to change and you could get money out of it as well. Great stuff. So up next, we've got some news about education and youth support.
Yes, and it's incredibly meaningful. Starting today, Busan is launching a special education program for young adults with borderline intellectual functioning, referring to individuals whose cognitive abilities fall slightly below the average range, typically with an IQ between 71 and 84.
So they don't qualify as having an intellectual disability, but they still face serious challenges.
Exactly. Many of them fall through the cracks. They're often excluded from support programs designed for people with disabilities, and at the same time, they struggle in typical job environments. That gap leads to social isolation and limited independence.
So what's this new program doing to help?
The city, together with the Busan Social Service Center and Busan Youth Foundation, is offering a 2-month course with 20 education sessions through July. Around 20 young people are participating in this first round. The curriculum includes soft skills like how to express yourself and handle workplace communication, and second one, problem solving and career exploration, and even introductory artificial intelligence training to prepare them for the digital economy.
Yay. AI training. Yeah, you know, I love that. I love
Yes,
that.
yes.
It's forward thinking, training for the future, I guess.
It is, and there's practical bonus too. Participants who show strong engagement can earn a spot in a 2-month hands-on work experience, helping them build real-world confidence and adaptability.
So is this a one-time thing?
Nope, this is just round 1. The city plans 3 waves of training, reaching up to 100 youth in total. The next group begins in July, and applications are open until June 30th.
Great. So where can people sign up for this?
You can sign up by visiting the Busan Social Service Center website. That's busan.pes.or.kr or call for help.
Okay, great stuff. Now, this could really change lives for the people who maybe, like you said, the people who fall through the cracks.
That's what the city hopes. These young people have so much potential. They just need tailored guidance and chances to show what they can do.
I love it. Let's break down those barriers and give everyone the chance they deserve.
Exactly.
All right, let's end on something lighter. Now, anywhere we can get out and enjoy nature if the weather gets a little bit better.
Perfect timing. This weekend, June 7th and 8th, Bukgu District is hosting a 2-day eco-wellness festival at Hwamyeong Ecological Park's Lotus Garden, Hwamyeong 생태공원 연꽃 단지. The event is titled Facing Nature, and it's all about reconnecting with the outdoors in fun, hands-on ways.
Ooh, sounds like something for families.
Definitely, there's a wide mix of interactive ecological activities and relaxing wellness zones. In the ecology zone, for instance, you can make your own flag using stencil prints of local animals and plants, build paper lotus flowers, color postcards, make sailboats, and even race them in mini regattas.
I can just see the parents, the kids, and the grandparents all just having the time of their life doing this together, building
Yes.
memories.
Exactly. Then you have the wellness zone with traditional tea ceremonies combined with meditation, group hula dancing, a bubble show using eco-friendly materials, and even a treasure hunt filled with old-school nostalgia.
Sounds like a lot of stuff to do. Maybe great for kids, but for someone like me who, who's the 체력 is a little bit, just doesn't always hit the top mark. Is there anything relaxing?
There's a picnic zone with tents and picnic sets available for rent. You can pre-book those. Plus, shaded sculptures will be set up around the park so people can rest and recharge.
Great. And then where can you sign up for this?
So visit the official event site at bukutour.com for reservations, the program schedule, and directions. It's a great chance to detox from digital life and just enjoy greenery in the city.
Fantastic stuff. A great mix today, from civic policy to inclusive education and nature therapy. Thank you very much, Claire.
Not a problem, everyone.
All right. And I will see you tomorrow. Stay dry. Was it still raining when you came in here?
Drizzling.
Drizzly. Lovely drizzle.
On
Good
and
old
off.
British Korean weather. I love it. Have a good one, Claire. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everyone. Don't forget to vote.
Oh, yes. All right, we're going to take a song break and then we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. This is Airplane by Icon.
잠깐 멈춰봐 이대로 가면 우린 다시 못 봐 비행기 떠나면 난 잘 지낼게 넌 꼭 잘 지내야 돼라고 말하고 가면 잘 지낼 수 있겠냐 너라면 애써 태어난 척하지만 넌 눈물 고였어 세상 잃어버린 듯한 슬픔이 보였어 하루만 더 있다가 지금 불고 있다가 영화나 보러 가잖아 울고 있잖아 너를 감싸는 하늘이 싫다 너를 밝혀주는 저 달을 믿다 이대로 보내기는 아쉬우니까 이건 아마 세상 가장 쓸쓸한 멜로디야 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐 비가 오잖아 바람 불잖아 지금 가면 위험하니까 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐 시간 멈춰라 내일도 있잖아 그녀를 내려줘 아니 나도 태워줘 하루만 한 시간만 딱 1분만 한마디만 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐 가벼운 미소만은 남기고 웃는 얼굴로 넌 떠났지 우리 기약을 굳게 믿는 척하면서 널 잡기 위해서 내 모든 짓을 해볼 걸 적어도 후회 속에서까지 살지 않기 위해선 girl 평생 그리워질 그대의 존재 그냥 내 품에서도 깊은 잠에 들어 왜 잔인하게 아름다운 저녁 하늘 바라봐 너게 마지막이라니까 또 눈물 나잖아 너를 감싸는 하늘이 싫다 너를 밝혀주는 저 달을 믿다 이대로 보내기는 아쉬우니까 이건 아마 세상 가장 쓸쓸한 멜로디야 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐 비가 오잖아 바람 불잖아 지금 가면 위험하니까 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐 시간 멈춰라 내일도 있잖아 그녀를 내려줘 아니 나도 태워줘 하루만 한 시간만 딱 1분만 한마디만 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐 꼭 오늘 가야 해왜 내일은 안 돼 보내기 싫은데 가면 언제 오는데 너와 멀어지는 게 난 두려워 yeah. 우리대로 자연스런 이별이 될까봐 하루만 한 시간만 딱 1분만 잠깐 멈춰봐 비가 오잖아 비가 오잖아 불잖아 지금 가면 위험하니까 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐 시간 멈춰라 내일도 있잖아 그녀를 내려줘 아니 나도 태워줘 하루만 한 시간만 딱 1분만 한마디만 Mr. Airplane 잠깐 멈춰봐
되게 탐구생활. A new week has started again. After the weekend, people often begin Monday in a rush as they start a new week. At times like this, it's easy to make mistakes. According to statistics, people make about 3 to 5 small mistakes every day. These can be things like forgetting something, dropping something, or texting the wrong person. Most mistakes are not serious and happen to everyone. Sometimes a mistake can bring unexpected luck. According to a news report from Argentina, recently a woman in Argentina opened her bank account and found that 510 million Argentine pesos, about 615 million Korean won, had been deposited. She was surprised and quickly went shopping and brought a refrigerator, a television, groceries, and even a used car. She also sent money to 6 of her relatives. Sadly, the money had been deposited by mistake. The provincial government confirmed the error the next day, froze her account, and took back most of the money. The woman said she believed the money was a gift from heaven and had already spent most of it. Humans make mistakes all the time, but even gods can make mistakes? Anyway, what matters most is that we learn from our mistakes and try to do better next time. You know, I think that kind of thing happens fairly often. I see it in the news. In England, there was an ATM cash machine that started spitting out double money. So if you ask for like £10 or like 2만 원, it would give you 4만 원. If you ask for 10만 원, 20만 원, and everyone was trying to get money out, obviously the bank is going to get the money back. So I would be careful in case you do come across random money in your bank account. Be careful, everyone. Well, everyone, the time is 4:32 in the afternoon on a Monday. I hope you're not feeling the Monday blues. The weather is kind of gloomy outside, but still, let's feel good together. Let's lift each other up by talking about subjects at school. Now, I asked you today for our text topic, what is your favorite and least favorite subject at school? 내 학창 시절 내가 가장 좋아했던 그리고 싫어했던 과목은 무엇인지 알려주세요. Now, we've got a few messages coming in. First of all, we had Soinim coming in saying, hi Nick, hi everyone. Good to see you, Soinim. Welcome to the show. Jenny Nim as well. Saying hello, good to see you, Jenny Nim, Busan Ajanim, and Kosunim as well. Lots of friends coming to say hello. Hope you're all doing good. Now, 고수님 says, 제가 학창 시절 좋아했던 과목은 사회입니다. Sociology, I guess, or societal studies. 싫어했던 과목은 수학이고요. 사회 과목을 좋아하는 이유는 과거를 책으로 알아볼 수 있었고 수학이 싫은 이유는 직감적으로 서로를 알아봤던 것 같아요. 저 아이는 나랑 친해질 수가 없겠구나 하고. Yeah, for sure. I felt the same way as you with maths. It's just not for me. Yeah, no, we're not going to be friends, I guess, ever. I don't know how I passed. I don't think I was very honest in my maths tests. If my teachers knew what I did in maths to get passes on my exams, they would not be very happy. So I won't say anything on radio. But I feel you, Kosunem, and I think social studies is a very interesting topic for sure. Anyone else, please let me know. What did you love at school? What did you hate at school? Send them to pound 9050, sharp 9050, which will cost you 101, KakaoTalk message or a YouTube live comment. Now, we're going to take a song break and then we'll be back with Jimmy. He's coming in for B.I.G Tour. Before that, this is I Remember by Ash Island.
기억하니 그 밤 너가 내게 온 날 잊을 수 없지 그날 밤 비가 내 머리를 적신 채 너의 눈이 내 손끝에 닿았을 때 I remember that day 하루도 빠짐없이 기다렸어 yes I am 너는 있게 된다 해도 내가 남겨둘게 Yeah I remember 말이 통하진 않았지만 왠지 사랑을 할 것 같던 날 너는 진심을 얘기했고 우리 마음만은 깊게 통했어 다 말하지 않아도 돼 기억할게 네가 웃을 때 그날의 시간을 가둬둘래 이렇게 남겨둘게 너무 아름다워서 우리 모르겠어 바보 같은 사랑이 된다 해도 난 yeah. 너에게 말해야겠어 마음이 넘치도록 기다렸어 yes I am 너는 있게 된다 해도 내가 남겨둘게 Yeah I remember 둘만의 비밀 같은 얘기 우리는 반지를 맞춘다면 서로에게 다짐했지 네가 처음 울었을 때 그 장면은 못 잊을 것 같아 잘왔어 내게 혹시 지치거나 힘들 기다릴게 yes I am 너는 있게 된다 해도 내가 남겨둘게 Yeah I remember that 기다릴게 yes I am 너는 있게 된다 해도 내가 남겨둘게 Yeah I remember that
이번 역은 부산역입니다.
Welcome back, everyone, to For Your Busan. It is 4:37 in the afternoon, and as 고수님 says, 잘생긴 프랜차이즈 협회 지민호 환영합니다.
안녕하세요.
Welcome to the show. Franchise in handsomeness, the
thank
association of that. How you doing, man?
Doing good. I mean, the weather is kind of gloomy and everything, but
is.
you know, still, I love Mondays. And then, yeah, it's the starting of the week.
Never heard anyone say, "I love Monday." I hear people say, "I don't mind Mondays." Well, I say, "I don't mind Mondays."
Yeah.
But you're the first person I think that says, "I love Mondays."
I mean, like, think about it.
That's a
It's
good
just
attitude.
like starting of the week. You know, I got like already refreshed by
Yeah.
like over the past weekend and everything. It's just wait for me to go.
역시 the positive energy from Jimmy. That's why we need Jimino in the studio right here.
Yay.
So this segment. Oh, before we move on, Ashley.
Right.
When you were in school, what was your most hated subject and most loved subject?
I hated two subjects,
Okay, what
and
is it?
even today, mathematics and science.
You hated mathematics and science.
So a good thing that about my school, like, you know, back in high school, I can actually choose my subjects and then talk to my counselor.
Were you in Korea or America?
America. In LA. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just straight went up to the counselor and told him, I still remember, I cannot bear with like, you know, above geometry.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take algebra and geometry, like those basic credits, and that's it.
Wow, that's nice. So you just stopped doing it?
No, I stopped.
Then what did you love? What subjects did you love?
Oh, I loved language, like Spanish and English and
Okay.
everything, English literature, and also art. Clay art. So that's why instead of taking the mathematics class, I took a clay arts class for 2 semesters in a row.
That's 완전 반전 매력이네요.
Yeah.
I never would expect you to be a sculptor or anything. We had 박진수님 saying, I liked maths. You can solve things mechanically easily. That they hated Korean language because they wondered, is this really my mother tongue? Yes. Fair enough. I didn't really enjoy English either.
Really?
Most of the time we were talking about Shakespeare, and I was not a fan of Shakespeare.
That's true.
At the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are talking about we are talking about B.I.G Tour, of course.
Right.
But you go to hot places.
Sure.
And you interview people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did we go today?
This festival, it's also one of those annual events that it's held in Busan, especially near the North Port, Busanhang.
Yeah.
And it's the 2025 Busan Port Festival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this port festival, I've been there a couple of times. I've been to Chinsu-gwangwon.
Yeah.
Had a look at the opera house that's being built there.
Right.
But it has still not completed, I don't think.
No, not yet. But Shinsu-gwon itself is, opened already a couple of years ago.
Okay, yeah, tell us more.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Busan Port International Passenger Terminal outdoor parking lot, they actually held this Busanhang Festival. It's the 18th edition this year. And Busan Port Festival is a signature maritime culture event. that actually highlights Busan's rich port heritage and the role as a global maritime hub. So this year, they not only for those, hand-on experiences and everything, but they actually collaborated with this entertainment, and then they held a huge K-pop concert.
Really? That was that the highlight?
Yeah, that was actually one of the highlight on the 30th of May.
Who was there?
Oh, like CM Blue and like everybody, Super Junior, DNE.
So when I was the first K-pop group I ever listened to back in England was Super Junior.
Really?
That was the original one with Kim Hee-chul.
Yeah.
And it's been so long, like 15 years. But
Tug and Sorry.
And I thought their songs are very catchy.
Yeah.
But now they're still going, or is it different
They're
members?
still going,
New
but then they also actually do this performing as like a unit, separated unit too.
Okay, with new members.
No, with the same members.
Really?
Right, remaining members.
That's
like
so cool.
Donghae and I don't know the other guy's name. Eunhyuk. Yeah,
Okay.
they actually came out as a DNE.
Wow, that's so cool that they're
Yeah.
still together and doing
Right,
it. I would love
right.
to. I would love to see that.
And then there
they're
was
there.
like all the other girl groups too, such as ITZY and like other boy band and Flying,
Yeah.
and even
Wow.
these days hot singer Jo Jazz. He's
Okay.
actually from Busan too. Yeah,
That's quite a lineup then for the
Right.
Busan port.
yeah. And then they also held like a global port park on interactive area offering cultural booths and maritime themed activities. Also like annual event. This is really popular too. They actually do a boat ride as well. So the kids and the family can actually go on a boat ride tour. And also they did the K-pop cover dance stages too. And then also mission stamp tour too. So they had like whole variety of activities that families and loved ones could actually, put their hands in.
That sounds amazing. What else was there? I heard there was something like a mission stamp tour.
Right.
What's that?
Like a family friendly activity where participants actually collect stamps by completing the various missions across the different festival zones and then promoting exploration and engagement.
Okay. Was there anything to eat or drink there?
Of course. That's one thing. That's actually one of the best things that I love about this Busan Port Festival. They actually have all these, featuring variety of food trucks and craft beer booths and also other drinks and beverages. So yeah, that's one thing that I cannot miss the most.
Fantastic. It sounds like just like a festival, a great time to be had in a really nice area of the city.
For sure.
So you went there, you enjoyed this, and you obviously got some interviews.
Oh, for sure. I actually got to interview this person who's in charge of Busan Port Festival, and then we actually got to hear anything and everything about this port festival. So let's check out the audio clip first.
안녕하세요. 간단하게 자기소개 부탁드리겠습니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 부산항축제를 담당하고 있는 부산축제조직위원회의 장수빈 매니저라고 합니다.
네, 매니저님 반갑습니다. 이번 2025 부산항축제에 대한 간단한 소개 부탁드리겠습니다.
올해로 18회를 맞이한 부산항축제는 5월 30일과 31일 양일 동안 부산항 국제여객터미널 야외 주차장과 북한 친수공항, 영도 국립해양박물관 일대에서 열렸습니다. 올해는 특히 대형 한류 종합행사인 마이케이 페스타와 연계되면서 축제 규모가 한층 더 커졌습니다. 기존의 부산항 투어, 보트 투어, 부산항 불꽃쇼와 같은 대표 프로그램뿐만 아니라 K-팝 콘서트 등 대형 공연이 새롭게 추가돼 보다 다채롭고 풍성한 축제가 되었습니다.
네, 부산 시민분들과 또 외국인 관광객분들이 어떠한 것을 좀 느끼고 가셨으면 좋을까요?
이번 18회 부산항축제는 단순한 항만축제를 넘어 K-팝과 인공지능 기술을 결합한 미래지향적 콘텐츠로 새롭게 변신했습니다. 이는 부산이 해양도시를 넘어 글로벌 문화 기술 허브로 도약하려는 의지를 담은 상징적인 축제라고 할 수 있는데요. 기존의 전통적인 해양 레저 및 승선체험 중심에서 한 걸음 더 나아가 한류 콘텐츠와 첨단 기술이 어우러진 복합문화축제로 진화하고 있습니다.
나에게 부산항 축제란? 이라고 한번 말씀해 주시면 어떻게 말씀해 주실 수 있을까요?
저에게 부산항축제는 캔버스 같은 느낌인데요. 벌써 18회째를 맞았지만 그 안에 담기는 이야기나 색깔은 또 해마다 매우 달라지거든요. 그래서 또 올해는 K-팝과 AI 또 글로벌 문화까지 어우러지면서 흥만도시 부산이 가지는 에너지와 가능성을 한껏 펼쳐볼 수 있는 자리인 것 같은데요. 단순히 프로그램을 기획하는 걸 넘어서 도시의 정체성과 미래를 그려나가는 과정에 참여하고 있다는 느낌이 듭니다.
So you got a phone interview with the manager of the Busan Port Festival, which is really cool.
So, I mean, I actually met her since last year because I also do go to other festivals like such as Busan Rock Festival and etc. And then, yeah, she was really excited about talking about this port festival too.
I mean, this is a really big event that happens, and you know, once it's fully completed, it's going to be a major draw for people to come and visit this area. You know, until now, it's the beaches, the opera house, and the whole parks. It's going to be a great reason for people to visit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, year by year, I guess this festival itself is really getting bigger and popular. So yeah.
So you didn't just interview the managers and the people who work for the festival. You also got some of the locals and people from different countries, right?
Right. So I was actually there on the first day of this festival, and then I actually got to interview a fan of CM Blue, and she actually came all the way from Mexico.
Wow.
So let's check out the second audio clip together.
Hi, may I ask you to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm from Mexico. Nice to meet you.
Mexico!
Yeah.
All right. Is this your first visit here in Busan Harbor Port Festival?
Yeah, it's the first time that I come to the festival. Yes.
How do you feel and how did you get to know about this event?
Actually, by Instagram, and I feel excited because one of my favorite groups is coming, so that's why I came.
All right, let me guess. Who's coming? Super Junior, ITZY, or who?
No, CM Blue.
Oh, CM Blue. All right.
Yeah.
So, which song do you like the best of them?
Love.
Love.
Yeah, it's a very old song, but I saw them in Mexico, so I came back.
Cool. So, do you have any plan other than just watching these concerts? Like, since you're in Busan?
I live here.
Oh, you live here?
Yeah.
So, which part of Busan are you living in?
In Gumjeonggu.
Gumjeonggu.
Yes.
So, how did you get here? By subway?
Yeah, I took the subway here.
All right, well, I'm a huge fan of CM Blue too, so make sure to have lots of fun and then, enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Are you really a fan of CM Blue, Jimmy?
I
Name
mean-
one song.
Yeah, maybe one song.
Dude, get that.
I just wanted to hype her up.
I get it. You want to just kind of, make them feel like, we have something in common. That's really cool. So she's Mexican. She's a resident. Well, she was a resident of Busan as well. Huge fan of the K-pop that's going on there.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So when you went there, was there a mix of international visitors as well as...
There was actually a lot of people from, other countries. I was really surprised.
Really?
And then they were all holding on to those balloons and, gears to cheer.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, 응원봉, right?
Yeah.
So I was really super shocked.
That's really cool. So you also got another interview with another person. Where were they from?
I got to interview Joyce from France. So let's check out the last audio clip together.
Hi, could you introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Joyce and I am French.
Oh, French.
Yeah.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Is this your first visit for this festival?
Yes, it's my first visit for the festival and it looks very nice actually.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the weather is beautiful too.
The weather is perfect. It's a bit chilly, but it's expected at the harbor, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
how
guess
did you get to know about this event?
Actually, my friend from the Ono Kyoryukwan at Busan, she introduced this festival to me, so we are here together.
Oh, which group are you cheering for?
CN Blue.
CN Blue?
Yeah.
So you guys are huge fan of CN Blue.
Yeah.
Which song do you like the best?
I like Loner. I also like Can't Stop.
Okay.
So, the good ones, the old ones.
So, here it's not only for the concert, but then as you can see, there's a lot of drinks and beverages too, and a lot of people. So, are you maybe looking forward to go grab a bite of those snacks?
Yeah, of course. Making sure that I will enjoy the best of everything that's here. Of course, Busan is good, so we need to do that.
Busan is good. Do you have any other plan after this concert or after this festival itself?
After the concert, I might just go to the beach because it's closed. So we just do that. Yeah. And
All
chill.
right.
Yeah.
Have fun,
Thank you.
enjoy, and then hopefully I get to see you guys next time.
Yeah, see you around.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Cool. So that was Joyce from France.
Right.
A lot of international visitors, they enjoy the K-pop scene.
Yeah, so as for this festival, it was quite a bit more easier for me to just approach to them and then, ask for an interview.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a place like this. Everyone's in good spirits. They're just kind of waiting, relaxing, waiting for the next concert to happen.
Yeah.
How late did you stay?
I didn't stay until the end, but then I stayed over an hour.
Okay.
So yeah, it was pretty good and cool before it got really dark.
For sure. These random festivals that happen over Busan as well, they're always so much fun. I don't often hear about them until you've been to them. And I'm like, 갈 걸 그랬어.
Next time, I think I gotta let you know.
We also had Beninem, who's a mega K-pop fan, who clarified, like what you said, Super Junior DNA is a big unit, Donghye and Eunhyuk, who the whole group, they'll turn 20 in November. Super Junior are going to be 20. They're not 20, they're older than 20.
Yeah.
But the group has been around
for 20 years.
I first heard them in 2009, maybe. So just a few years after they were released.
Yeah.
And they were the big thing back in the day, weren't they? Yeah.
They were like group of 11 or 12.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Good times. I enjoyed K-pop a lot back in those days because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was fun and I know it sounds like a Latina Maria moment, but it was so much fun back in the day.
But I totally feel you. I like those old K-pop songs than the new released songs.
We're showing our age here, Jimmy. We're showing our age. So this 2025 Busan Port Festival, if you just summarize it for us, what kind of a place it is?
I mean, this festival actually offers a unique opportunity to experience the maritime charm of Busan through a blend of cultural performances and interactive activities and scenic waterfront views. And also kids and families can actually gather together and then participate those, family-oriented, hands-on activities as well.
Brilliant stuff. So yeah, whether you're alone, you're traveling, you're with your family, this is a great place to enjoy some of Busan, some great concerts, some good food, and if you're super lucky, you could meet Jimmy. He might interview you one time.
Yeah.
Earlier you said that you were a fan of CM Blue and you didn't name a song. I'll teach you a song.
All right.
We're going to play just for you, Jimmy. Our 막곡 of the first half is going to be Love by CM Blue.
Oh, thank you.
So remember this and report back to Elizabeth from Mexico.
All right, I'll try to listen to it and check it out.
Jimmy, it was a pleasure. I'll see you next week.
All right, see you guys next week.
All right, everyone, we're going to wrap up the first half here. Don't go anywhere. Our final song of this half will be Love by CM Blue, and then I will see you at 5.
Yeah. CM to the blue, to the sky, get 'em high. Yes, we ready to go. 차갑게 더 차갑게 말을 해봐. 날 떠날 수 있다고. 그 말은 miss, oh mistake. Everybody got it, la 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 la. Tick tock 눈물이 떨어져 diggy pop to the sound. 유리 조각처럼 부서진 우리 둘이 breaking now. 하늘이 엇갈려도 사랑이라 그랬니 그 말을 믿을 순 없어 Tell me why 너만 원하고 있잖아 No bye 그런 슬픈 말은 하지마 I can try 다시 돌아온다면 You know I wanna get your love back to me 꿈에서라도 네 손을 잡던 그대로 돌아가고 싶은데 hey. Everybody clap I want you back to me 꿈에서라도 돌아온다면 세상은 작아진 것 같은 텐트 Oh 내가 원하는 건 I wanna go back 함께했던 그대로 오늘도 missing you Everybody got it la 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 Tick tock 빗물이 떨어져 diggy pop to the sound 가슴을 찢어지는 나쁜 air 우리 둘이 breaking now 하루만 단 하루만 사랑할 수 있기를 이렇게 애원하잖아 Hold me quiet 내 목소리 안 들리니 Oh hi 매일 너만 찾고 있는데 Tell me lie 다시 love. Love, love, love. Everybody clap, clap, clap. I want you back to me. 꿈에서라도 네 손을 잡던 그때로 돌아가고 싶은데. Hey. Love, love, love. Everybody clap, clap, clap. I want you back to me. 꿈에서라도 돌아온다면 세상을 다 가진 것 같은 텐트. Yeah, we make you high. I'm ready for this. See, I'm blue. microphone check. One, two. 아직도 널 부르면 달려올 것 같은데 이별을 믿을 순 없어. Tell me why 너만 원하고 있잖아. No bye 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 그런 슬픈 말은 하지마. I can try.
Your bridge to the world. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
부산의 축제 어디까지 즐겨보셨나요? 과거와 현재, 미래가 공존하는 항구도시 부산. 이곳 부산은 계절을 물들이는 다양한 축제로 늘 풍성합니다. 봄의 시작을 알리는 봄꽃 축제부터 부산의 여름을 만끽하는 바다축제, 전 세계 영화인들이 모이는 부산국제영화제와 새로운 시작의 해맞이 축제까지. 부산의 축제는 우리의 열정을 가득 담고 있습니다. 바쁜 일상은 잠시 뒤로하고 특별한 시간을 선물 받는 바로 이곳 부산에서 우리의 삶은 축제가 됩니다. 축제로 하나 되는 부산, 여러분은 어떤 축제를 기다리시나요? 이 캠페인은 대선공익재단과 BFM 부산영어방송이 함께합니다.
From Busan to the world, feel the power of Korean culture. Now, Busan is ready to play a song that will touch hearts around the world together with global fans. 문화와 바다가 만나는 도시 부산. 열정과 희망이 가득한 글로벌 관광 허브 도시 부산. 글로벌 K-pop 팬들이 하나 되는 축제 부산 원아시아 페스티벌. 한류 콘텐츠의 심장이 부산에서 뜁니다. The place where the Korean wave begins. A cultural hub blending tradition and innovation. 늘 새롭고 머물고 싶고 다시 찾고 싶은 도시 부산. Play, work, live, 부산. 이 캠페인은 부산의 관광 가치를 창조하는 글로벌 플랫폼 부산관광공사와 함께합니다.
Let's get some fresh air. What's going on? Why can't I see anything?
It's the yellow dust. You have to close the window. Hey, I know what will improve your eyesight. Look at more beautiful things. Like me.
Can you tell me what I actually need to do during yellow dust days?
Fine. Here are your guidelines for days with yellow dust. First, check your windows to make sure the yellow dust can't get inside. Turn on the air purifier. Second, refrain from outside activities if possible. If you do go out, wear a mask. When you get home, thoroughly wash your hands and feet. Third, fully wash any fruits or vegetables that have been exposed to yellow dust. And last of all, get plenty of water. Keep up to date on weather forecasts for the latest yellow dust information.
This campaign was brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어방송.
The time is now 5 o'clock.
포열 부산?
포열 부산 아닙니까? 원래는 울산 사람이니까 포열 부산 내리죠 이렇게.
포열 부산.
포열 부산.
할까요? 포열 부산.
You're now listening to For Your Busan.
Hi, what's your name? Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm Korean American. I grew up in the States, mostly in Texas, but now I've been in Busan for about 2 years.
All right, and tell us a little bit about your job. What kind of work do you do?
So I really got into making makgeolli during quarantine back in the States. It was like a good way for me to like connect back into Korean culture. And then when I came back to Korea a few years ago, I learned how to make makgeolli back in Seoul. And then here, when I moved to Busan, I started a business making and teaching about makgeolli and Korean culture in general.
Had you always been a makgeolli lover, or tell us a little bit about how you got interested in makgeolli?
Yeah, I like makgeolli and soju to some extent, but I really liked the kind of the cooking and fermentation aspect of makgeolli, and of course the communal aspect, eating food and drinking makgeolli with friends and family as well. So that's what I really liked the most about it.
And so now you've opened makgeolli restaurant, and there's also different experiences you can do. So tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, so right now we do makgeolli tastings where people can try a lot of different types of makgeolli without having to buy a full bottle. So there's a lot of different types of Korean rice wines. So we try to show people the variety, not just what you can get in restaurants and convenience stores. So we do tastings. We also do makgeolli making classes where you can start the process and then take it home with you to finish the fermentation. And then we just recently started doing hanbok rentals. So, in Seoul, there's a ton of hanbok rentals where you can go around the different temples and things like that. So I thought it would be fun to do that. But here, the main attractions being the beach and then temples around here as well. But I thought it'd be fun to try to incorporate hanboks with our makgeolli classes, and then also just as a separate thing where people can come visit Busan and then rent hanbok and go around, see the sights, take pictures as well.
And maybe for people that don't know what makgeolli is, can you explain what it is and what kind of flavors you can find with makgeolli?
Oh, yeah. So makgeolli is a Korean fermented rice wine. So it is made with traditionally just 3 ingredients: rice, yeast starter called nuruk, and water. And it's been around for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And it can really vary in the type of rice and water and the nuruk and the region that it's made. It can be very fruity, very light, very sour, and kind of heavy. It really depends on how it's made. So there's really like millions of varieties of makgeolli.
And what kind of foods pair well with makgeolli?
Yeah, traditionally it's eaten or drank with more protein-heavy foods like tofu. Dubu kimchi is a good traditional dish with it. Boiled pork, suyuk, things like that. That it's kind of like a substitute for rice in some ways. So eating rice or starches with makgeolli can be a little too heavy, but it's a nice kind of finisher for heavy, protein-heavy, spicy, rich foods.
All right, so for people that want to come and do like a makgeolli experience, does it take a long time? Tell us about how long it takes to make makgeolli.
Yeah, so to make makgeolli, we do the class in about an hour and a half, where we do the whole process from start to finish, preparing the rice, mixing the ingredients. And then since it's a fermented product, it takes about 7 days to, do the making the alcohol thing. So you would take it home with you and ferment for 5 to 7 days at home. And then once you're done, you can filter it, and then you have makgeolli at home to drink.
Ooh, sounds so fun. So the actual making of it doesn't take very long at all.
Yeah, exactly. So back in the day, hundreds of years ago, people would make makgeolli in their own homes. So it was every family had their own unique recipe, and they would make makgeolli to drink at home and during the holidays, during like 제사, the rituals at home. And during the war, a lot of that tradition went away because there was rice shortages and things like that. These days, there's a lot more variety of makgeolli coming out again. It's really exciting to see what other people are doing as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and I hope a lot of people can come, wear hanboks, and make makgeolli with you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you to Tegan for bringing us today's On the Mic. Today, a good subject related, whenever it's drizzly, gloomy outside, what could be better than a nice cup of makgeolli, right? Michelle Lee is a Korean American and grew up in Texas, but now lives in Busan. She started making makgeolli and teaching about Korean culture too. She loves, Korean alcohol, but what she really enjoys is the process of making it and then enjoying it together with others. Her business actually offers a variety of services from making makgeolli to tasting it. And they also recently started a hanbok rental as well, which is a good way to maybe get tourists and expats to try a bit more of the Korean culture. And makgeolli the making experience only takes about an hour and a half to make. But then, of course, it's fermented, right? You have to ferment it to 5 to 7 days, she said. Then it's ready to filter and enjoy. Now, that sounds like a great experience. And especially, I know we mentioned this before, if you go to the Kumjongsan area, makgeolli it's the perfect place. It's the perfect thing to drink in a place like that. And this is why we have this segment every single day, so we can meet the fantastic citizens that make up this wonderful city. The time is now 5:07 in the afternoon. It's Monday. How are you feeling? I'm sure the weather reflects a lot of people's attitude towards Monday. But if there's anything I learned from Jimmy, it's to treat each new week, each new day, like a brand new beginning. It's exciting. The possibilities are endless and you can dive into it. You never know what you're going to accomplish. I think that's a great attitude to have that I'm definitely trying to learn from him. We've got some messages coming in, which is always nice. We have Juliet Nim messaging in saying, hello everyone, beautiful Monday. It is a beautiful Monday. Good to see you, Juliet Nim. I hope you had a good weekend. Thank you for stopping by. We also have Manakdo Young as well. Talking about the text topic. Now, just to remind you, today's text topic is, what was your favorite and least favorite subject in school? 학창 시절에 내가 가장 좋아했던 그리고 싫어했던 과목은 무엇인지 알려주세요가 오늘의 텍스트 토픽 질문입니다. 만학도 영어님 셋 안녕하세요. 제가 좋아한 과목은 영어와 독일어였습니다. 그래서 전공도 독일어, 독어 동문학을 선택했어요. 제가 외국어를 배우는 걸 정말 좋아하거든요. 그리고 싫어했던 과목은 미술이에요. 제가 손재주가 정말 없어요. 색깔에 대한 감각도 떨어지고요. 미술이 대신 점수를 많이 깎아먹었죠. That's interesting. Now, I know you do love languages, of course, and I recently learned that you did study German as well. So you obviously have an interest in languages, which is fantastic. You know what? You don't have to love art. It's okay. Not everyone is born with that instinctual talent to do art, right? I guess I wasn't the best. I was okay as a kid, but I just stopped doing it when I got older. As long as you have your love and your focus, and you're still doing it today, obviously, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing. Now, everyone else, please let me know what subjects you loved in school and what subjects you didn't like in school. Maybe you didn't like it because you weren't good at it, or maybe you didn't like it because you didn't have a very nice teacher or a very good teacher. Feel free to be honest. You can send your messages to #9050, 샵 9050 to cost you 101, KakaoTalk message or a YouTube live comment. Now, coming up next, we've got the segment where you can participate and potentially win some prizes. Of course, it's Quizmaster. Before that, though, we're going to take a song break. This is Find Love by Adam and Chungha.
It's bringing me down, being stuck inside my head. but I guess the bitterness is better off dead. There's nothing to say except a little regrets, 'cause I swore that I thought we'd get to the end. Yeah. So what did we do this for? Had my hopes up in the sky. Yeah, 'cause you are so beautiful, there's no wonder why you're still on my mind. And sometimes I wish what we had was love. I know we both deserve better, I know it wasn't forever. And baby, it showed that we weren't enough for each other, but still we tried. Oh, how I hate we couldn't find love, but what we had was love.
Yes, we could say our love was summer and rain, hiding behind every smile, a feeling we couldn't escape. Oh, and it comes and goes away, trying our best to stay, but we kept running till there was nothing left to save.
Oh, so what did we do this for? Had my hopes up in the sky, 'cause you are still beautiful, there's no wonder why you're still on my mind. Sometimes I wish what we had was love. I know we both deserve better, I know it wasn't forever. And baby, it's sure that we were enough for each other, but still we tried. Oh, how I hate we couldn't find love, but what we had was love. Well, I just hope you're safe and that you haven't changed. I hope you can find a love and you're better off without me by your side.
Can we call this love? You're taking me above. What should we, yeah, what should we take?
Sometimes I wish what we had was love. I know we both deserve better, I know it wasn't forever. And baby, it showed that we were enough for each other, but still we tried. Oh, how I hate we couldn't find love, but what we had was love. But what we had was love.
What we had was, what we had
was, what we had was love.
Welcome back, one and all to For Your Busan. It is 5:13 in the afternoon on a lovely Monday. It might be kind of drizzly and gloomy, but it's lovely nonetheless. That's the attitude we ought to be having. Welcome back. I hope you're having a good day, and it is going to get even better because right now is Quizmaster, your opportunity to potentially win a prize by answering today's quiz. Now, the prize is coffee, which is perfect for a day like today. Maybe a warmer Americano, or whether you're oljuga, maybe you can have a nice one. Doesn't matter. It will be yours to choose if you get the answer correct and get chosen to win the prize. Now, every day we have a slightly different quiz. Today is Guess Who? And this is where I have a particular famous person, and you have to guess who they are. I'll give you various hints, and then you just send me who you think it is. So you can send your answers to #9050, 샵 9050, which will cost you 101, Kakao Talk message, or YouTube live comment. So, get ready everyone. These are the hints of today's person. Hint number 1. Their birthday is July 18th. There you go. Always start with a birthday hint, but with no year. July 18th. And I think if we said the year, it'd be way too easy for people just to go on search engines and 검색해요, right? So we just do the month and the date. We have 고수님 straight in, hearing the birthday and saying 인물 퀴즈 정답 박태영이라고 했어요. Okay, I'm going to lock your answer in. 박태영 is 고수님's answer. Is their birthday July the 18th? If they are, you're a genius. Hint number 2. This person studied law and became a lawyer. Okay, so they're obviously very diligent, very intelligent, and they became a lawyer. 변호사. Now, this person's autobiography, they have an autobiography, which is called Long Walk to Freedom. A Long Walk to Freedom. So that might give you some kind of hint. This person obviously is very passionate when it comes to freedom, not being oppressed. And so they have an autobiography. Now, this person, or people call this person Madiba as a sign of respect. I guess it's kind of like a nickname or a name in this native language, but as a sign of respect, not as like a cheap nickname, but a sign of respect. They call him Madiba. Okay. Now, we do have a voice hint. I don't know who this will help, but it might help someone. So let's play the audio clip.
I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people.
And that sounds epic, especially with the music in the background and the crowd are cheering along. A very emotional speech, actually, very inspirational speech. So those were the hints. Birthday, July 18th. They studied law and became a lawyer. They have an autobiography called Long Walk to Freedom. And this person was called Madiba as a sign of respect. Okay, we've got Sang-Yun-nim saying Nelson Mandela. Okay, alright. 고수님 saying 태영아 잘 살고 있지? 미안합니다. 이런 방송. Okay, or maybe is it someone you know? Okay. Mona Lisa-님 as well saying 기호 4번. Alright, interesting. Okay. Send your answer to pound 9050, sharp 9050, Chukos 201, Kakao Talk message or YouTube live comment. We're going to take a song break and then we will be back with some more hints. This is Runaway Baby by Bruno Mars.
Well, looky here, what do we have? Another pretty thing ready for me to grab. But little does she know that I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing. Cause at the end of the night, it is her I'll be holding. I love you so, hey, that's what you'll say. You'll tell me, baby, please don't go away. But when I play, I never stay. So every girl that I meet, yeah, this is what I say. Run away, baby. Before I put my spell on you. You better get away, darling. Cause everything you heard is true. Your poor little heart will end up alone. Cause Lord knows I'm a rolling stone. So you better run away, baby. Yeah. Well, let me think. What should I do? So many eager young bunnies that I'd like to pursue. Now even though they're eating out the palm of my hand, there's only one carrot and they all gotta share it. I love you so, hey, that's what you'll say. You'll tell me, baby, please don't go away. But when I play, I never stay. So every girl that I meet, yeah, this is what I say. Run away, baby. Before I put my spell on you. You better get away, darling. Cause everything you heard is true. Your poor little heart will end up alone. Cause Lord knows I'm a rolling stone. So you better run away, baby. See, I ain't tryna hurt you, baby. No, I just wanna work you, baby. Yup. See, I ain't tryna hurt you, baby. No, I just wanna work you, baby. If you scared, you better run. You better run. You better run. You better run away, baby. Before I put my spell on you. You better
Welcome back, lovely people, to For Your Busan. It's 5:20 in the afternoon. My name is Nick, if you're just joining, and we are in the middle of a Quizmaster. Guess who? We're talking about one particular person in this wide world. I've given you some hints, and we've got some answers coming in so far. Now, we had Sang-Yunim changing his answer 3 times. Martin Luther King Jr., then Mahatma Gandhi, and then a completely different angle with Nicki Minaj. Okay. Interesting. And Nicki Minaj's voice must have changed a lot from that audio clip. We have Meli Kulsubasu, very cute name, saying the answer is Nelson Mandela. Thank you for your guess. And Manok Doyong은 also saying Nelson Mandela의 한 표 더요. Okay, another vote for Nelson Mandela. Okay, we also have 3865번님 saying Mandela. Cool. Okay. Mandela. Thank you for your answer. Benny님 also saying 정답 Nelson Mandela. Now, we have a lot of votes for Nelson Mandela, but some not for him. I'm going to give you a few more hints. This person won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. So, over 30 years ago, they won the Nobel Peace Prize. This person was banned from public speaking in South Africa. There's a big hint right there. He was banned from public speaking in the country of South Africa. And you want a big hint? He was the first black president of South Africa. So, Sang-Yunim, I think you can take Nicki Minaj off the table. And you can probably take Martin Luther King Jr. off the table. If you know a little bit about your world history, then this might be a bit more clear to some people. We've got one more hint, but I don't want to give it because I think this will be a bit too much. Oh, you know what? Okay, we've talked about this before. There is an effect, 효과, named after this person. You know what it is? You might do. We've talked about it on this show weeks ago. Very interesting effect based on this person. But anyway, send your messages to #9050, 샵 9050, should cost you 101, KakaoTalk message or YouTube live comment. We're going to listen to a song and we'll be back. This is Love Today by B2B.
눈부신 그때의 우리 돌아갈 수 있을까? I see the sunrise breaking through the dark. 저승짓던 수많은 시간과 외로움만이 남겨진 거리. But I know the truth. Let's turn the page, rewrite the lines tonight. 조각난 별빛이 나 왜 항상 투성인 건지. Wait, wait. 손을 높이 들어봤자 휑한 바람만 스치우다. 불안해져 밥 먹혀도 내일을 꿈꾸고 싶어 내일은 한 번 더 하늘에 걸어둘래. I think I'm not too late. Yeah, I think I'm not too late. 부딪혀 all the way. Everybody love today. Everybody love today. 걸어가요 그대로 빛이 보일 때까지. Everybody love today. 눈부신 그때의 우리 어디쯤에 있을까? 어떤 하루 끝에 무너져 내릴 만큼 슬플 땐 조금은 쉬어가도 돼. You know. 다른 무엇보다도 너를 믿기. Time to shine. 눈부실 만큼 빛나는 모든 날.
Yeah, feels like I'm stuck in the dark, all alone and I've lost my spark. But everyone's got their own battles we know nothing about. So just keep moving forward, soldier, that's in order. Don't backtrack, I'm not gonna fall back, no. No rearview mirror, I just need a breather. It's okay to take a break, it's okay. Yeah, a little mind clearer. I just need to find the light. Find the light. Yeah, I think I'ma be alright. Everybody love today. Everybody
이대로도 충분해.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to For Your Busan. It is now the final moments. We're in the final parts of Busan Quiz Master. Today is Guess Who. I've given you some hints about a particular person, very famous person in the world, and we've had some guesses coming in. Hints included things like this person became a lawyer after studying law, of course. They are known as Madiba, as a sign of respect. This person was also the first black president of South Africa. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. He was banned from public speaking in South Africa. So, lots of hints right there. We had Sang-Yunim saying the iconic first black president, Barack Obama. I mean, in America, the first iconic black president, for sure. But not anywhere else in the world. Okay. Anyway, Benny Nim says, as basketball calls say, it's all over, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you think you have the right answer, if you think you're so sure, just wait, you could be wrong. We have Oration Nim coming in saying, 안녕하세요, 건강하고 행복한 한 주 되세요. Thank you. I hope you have a great week too, Oration Nim. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. I do hope to see you in the coming week as well. So, lots of different answers coming in. 3865 by Nim also said Mandela. Okay, I'm going to reveal the answer. The answer is Nelson Mandela가 정답이었습니다. Yay! Nelson Mandela, of course, the first black president of South Africa, ending apartheid. It was a huge thing in South America, created. Yeah, he really just changed the whole regime in the country. So there you go, very important figure. Now, we're going to give a prize. We're going to give a coffee coupon to one lucky winner. And the winner shall be 3865번님. Yay! 3865번님께 커피 쿠폰 하나 드리겠습니다. 축하드립니다. Thank you very much for playing. And everyone, don't worry if you didn't win a prize. We have prizes basically every single day. So you can try your luck again. 멜리클수마수님 saying, yay, you did get the answer correct. Well done. Try again next time for the coffee coupon, but thank you for participating. So the time is now 5:28 in the afternoon. Don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we do have Busan Tales.
Tune in to For Your Busan, featuring local news, events, and interviews with people in the community. Airing from 4:05 to 6 p.m.
The Korea Broadcast Advertising Cooperation, Ko.Pu, is offering support for the production of broadcast advertisement for innovative small and medium-sized enterprises. Up to 45 million Korean won is available for television advertisements and up to 3 million Korean won for radio advertisements. Applications will be accepted until 6 p.m. on June 2nd. For more information, please visit the Ko.Pu website. We appreciate your interest.
Welcome back, lovely folks, to For Your Busan. It's Monday, gloomy, almost drizzly, I think. Not a very nice day, but to brighten the studio with her radiance is Haley.
Oh, that's so nice. Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
Doing pretty well.
You're doing well?
Yeah.
Are you looking at your phone while on air
I
with
am.
me?
I'm actually trying to pull up my script as we speak.
As long as you're not scrolling.
No.
You're scrolling.
This is so school, which is very, very in line with what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But no, remember though, speaking of school and texting, remember when we didn't have smartphones and like you could have because you could touch the keypads and you could put the phone under your desk and just text like while you're making eye contact.
It was easy to text.
Yeah.
It's 9 buttons, right? You just have 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4.
Yeah, I really like try to count.
It's 9.
No, there are 12.
There's 0 too.
Because there's a 0 and
Okay.
I was like, I feel
Yeah,
like there
that's
were
true, that's
more.
true.
My fingers remember more.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the good days. Like, I
know.
love you under the... I never did that.
I love you.
You could have done that.
Not me. I don't know who you were texting, but I definitely was not.
My mother. I was texting my mum. So, speaking of school, what was your favourite subject and least favourite subject?
Okay, so this should come as not a surprise to anyone, but I was a big old nerd. Checks out.
How big of a nerd?
Check.
Math, science, together?
Like all of the above.
Oh, you
like
liked all of them.
문이과 통합형 인재였습니다.
You just liked everything?
인재, 문이과 범생이. It was just, I don't know, I liked studying.
You liked everything?
I liked everything. I liked everything.
Did you have friends?
I did.
Okay.
So I had my... I did.
I think I did.
I think so. Rachel, Tanisha. But we were like the AP kids. Like we formed an AP. So
What's that?
It's advanced placement. I think IB is maybe the European equivalent of it. You voluntarily take harder classes because we just voluntarily took harder classes with a big exam at the end of the school year. And if you pass the exam, you get college credit.
Okay.
So I actually went into college like almost 90% done with my freshman credits.
Basically already graduated by the time
Pretty much. But yeah, I loved math. I loved government, AP government and AP literature. They were my favorites. My least favorite, PE. This is so I was such a stereotype.
Okay, yeah.
Nerd. Nerd.
Right.
Yeah. So I actually got my first B+, I believe.
Oh, you're Lisa Simpson.
Yeah, I was.
Oh,
I really
wow.
was. She's my spirit animal.
Yeah. So people like you, the nerds, the smart people, they say that they get a B+ in something and their life is over. Did you get told off? 많이 혼났어요?
저희 부모님은 그런.
So you were just hard on yourself?
I was like, I got a B+. Oh my God, Mom.
My life is over.
I know. I'm like, and my mom's like, I don't care.
If I got a B+, I was like, hey, I did pretty good.
Yeah, but I was just so upset because it was PE.
Fair enough.
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, now I run and go to the gym every day.
Right.
The irony.
Interests change over time.
Yeah, they do change.
Do you still study, hobby?
I mean, I do like learning.
Yeah.
And as my job, history, and then, for my morning wave in Busan job, politics. 근데 암산이 안 돼요, 이제.
Oh, you can't calculate in your head?
진짜 약간, it's horrible.
Ang PD is pretty good. I asked her 6
Are you
times
really?
6 earlier. 9 times 9.
81. I mean, not that, but like
9 times 4.
36.
Ooh, 6 times 6.5.
그러니까 이러면 안 돼. 이런 건 안 찍겠지. 이건 너무하지. 이거는 게스트를 이렇게.
I'm sorry.
But like subtraction, I just can't.
What, 3 minus 1?
I'm not. Like we get to triple digits, and I
Okay.
used to be able to, but just
Really?
anything that's really simple, I'm like, where's my? Let me just pull up my calculator. Yeah.
Okay. I never could understand things like Pythagoras theorem, algebra. I was terrible at algebra. I just, the teacher would always look at me like, if X is 4 and Y is 3, what is the
Z.
quantum
Yeah. What is
theory?
Z?
I'm like,
well, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I just had no idea. I was so bad at it.
Oh.
I wish I was better. Yeah.
Well,
But hey, I kind of cheated my way through as a
we
kid.
all have our strengths and weaknesses.
There you go. We have a Rachel saying 고등학교 수학 시간에 맨날 잠자다가 수학 선생님에게 지켜서 비 오는 날 먼지 나듯 맞은 기억이 나네요. Back in the day.
You are of that generation.
Yeah. There you go. Well, hopefully it's not like that anymore. So your kids won't
Hopefully.
go through that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're here to share your knowledge and wisdom from your nerd days.
It's actually for your Busan school every Mondays at 5:35-ish, because it's time for Busan Tales, your local history.
Brilliant.
We actually had, going back, if you'll allow me this segue, we actually had a mandatory class everybody had to take. I lived in Washington State, and it was Washington State history.
Okay.
And I'm like, do we have that? Do we have Busan City history as a mandatory course? Which, as like regional pride and knowing something more about your city, maybe we should.
Well, even in England, we don't learn about counties.
Like local history, right?
America is such a big country. A state is almost like a country.
It is. States'
itself.
rights are so important. So it's definitely different. But there's always a merit to learning more about where you live. So this is Busan Tales, where we do just that. School is in session. Well, I do want to talk about a little bit of contemporary history today because, maybe I'm in my teacher mode. All right, question. What is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is June the 3rd.
Which is?
presidential election. Well, voting day.
Yes, that is right. You're both.
Yeah.
That's correct. Presidential election day. 네, 내일은 대통령 선거일이죠. June, the month of June is also 호국 보훈의 달, which is a fancy word for saying it's the month of veterans and patriots.
Well, it's a very important date coming up soon.
Exactly.
Well.
It's also the month of the June 10th uprising commemoration, which is really arguably when democracy began in full in South Korea. So that's coming up next week. So we're in this kind of whirlwind of history as we speak. So what does Busan, where does Busan stand when it comes to South Korea's political and democratic history? That is the lesson I do want to share with all of you and have a discussion today. So, of course, just immediate politically, we've seen all the major party candidates come down to Busan multiple times because we are in what's called the PK region. And you hear that quite a bit, like PK, TK. So PK stands for Busan. So this is an old term when Busan used to be Busan. So Busan Gyeongnam, as well as a little bit to the north of us, we have TK, which is Daegu Gyeongbuk. Lumped together, this is kind of the more conservative. It was deemed a more conservative sphere. But then, that was traditionally, we have kind of been swinging both ways. We have voted, Busan has voted for a Democratic Party candidate and for a Conservative Party candidate. But then I do want to take it further back. Like a whole broad historical scope of democracy in South Korea, Busan holds a major chapter in that storied saga.
All right.
Right. So let's look at the broad strokes of South Korea's democracy and democratization, 민주화. We often start with Gwangju, right? Gwangju on May 18th, 1980, the protests and the bloody suppressions that followed. And then let's fast forward 7 more years, June 10th, 1987, the protests broke out nationwide, finally toppling the autocratic military government and bringing about direct elections.
So South Korea didn't always have direct elections, did they?
Right. So tomorrow, or if you maybe have done so already, listeners, when you go to vote, and you know, in the UK too, you vote directly. You go to a polling station, you go inside a booth, and you stamp. How do you vote in the UK? So we stamp the ballot, like physically. Do you punch?
No, there's like a check thing.
Oh, so there's
from
like
what I remember, so long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And every country's different. In the US, you like kind of get like a whole. You like, if you vote by mail, you do check, but then if you go to a polling station, which I believe fewer and fewer states do, you like punch a ballot, and sometimes it leads to invalid votes because the paper is still hanging. Yeah, it's called a hanging chat, a little bit of trivia. But so in Korea, we stamp. However, under the Park Chung-hee regime, the country was under what was called 유신 헌법. It's basically like the military autocratic constitution. So under this system, there was this thing called the National Conference for Unification. Basically, this was a group kind of similar, not really to the current election commission, but the big difference is the NEC, National Election Commission right now, they oversee elections. This national conference, they elected people.
Okay.
Yeah, so they elected the president.
It wasn't chosen by the people.
It was not.
Okay.
It was chosen by who knows who.
I mean,
really.
when you have a sort of dictatorship,
that's usually
really
what happens, right? Direct elections are the first things that go. So elections back then, you may be familiar with this term, listeners. It's what was called the arena or gymnasium elections, 체육관 선거, because the delegates would gather in a closed-off arena. That was the key. They shut the door, locked the door. Back then, it was 장충 체육관, which is where a lot of like tournaments and concerts are held now.
They send white smoke or black smoke.
And you're all waiting.
Yeah.
And seagulls waiting. But they had to cast their ballots, guess what, in front of armed soldiers in plain sight.
Okay.
Nothing democratic about that.
Okay.
I mean, who are you going to vote for when there's a man with a gun in front of you?
Exactly.
Probably someone who controls that man with the gun.
Forced hand.
So as a result, former presidents Park Chung-hee and Chun Doo-hwan, they both received over 99% of the votes.
Oh, what a surprise.
That's very like Putin-esque, isn't it?
It
yeah,
is.
that's definitely the number we see in non-democratic countries.
Exactly. And this is all such, looking at a
and this
recent
is
history.
It's the 70s and the 80s.
Looking at it now is a stark contrast. So what brought on the call for change.
Right. So this is where I start to weave in that thread to Busan. So the catalyst that set off the protest in 1987, it was the death of Seoul National University student Park Jong-chul, who was kind of one of the two major faces of that democratic movement. So he was actually born and raised in Busan. He was a Busan student. And of course, him going to Seoul National University, his family's pride and joy. But on January 14th of that year, 1987, the security police under the Interior Ministry, Tianbu, they brought in this brilliant student, Park Jong-chul. They tortured him to get information about the whereabouts of another student democratic movement leader.
Oh my.
And there was waterboarding. As a result of this, he died.
In 1987?
In 1987.
It's weird that, not long before I was born, many people would be alive in this time.
And the following year, the country would hold the Olympic Games.
That's insane.
Yeah, which is insane. And this is where we get the very famous, rather infamous quote from the head of the security forces. So he was because, again, this very prominent student dies. There are questions. There are autopsy reports that say, he may have been outside forces. So he holds a press conference in front of a room full of reporters. He say, 탁 치니 억하고 쓰러졌다. Basically, it means they were sitting face to face with each other as we are. The security guard, they pounded on the table once, 탁 치니, and the student just fell over.
Oh, what a believable story.
I know. This healthy 20-something, a man in his early 20s just passes out from,
You'd think they would at least come up with a better...
And I think that's something that fueled the fire.
Just
because
kind of.
that blatant, that shameless attitude. So it really fueled this outrage that spread across the country. And the Citizen Mourning Committee, they designated February 7th, the following month, as a day of national mourning. So let's come to Busan, Park Jong-chul's hometown. This spot where a lot of people gathered for that mourning was in front of the famous Busan Theater in Nampodong, a very central part of the city. Over 20,000 students and civilians gathered there. And keep in mind, this is an era when you say you're going to go out to protest and your parents are like hanging by your ankles trying to stop you because, well, look what protesting gets you.
Exactly. They fear for their children's lives.
Exactly. So they did. And by the way, this marked the biggest protest in almost 10 years, in nearly a decade. So this and, of course, other protests across the country prompted calls for direct elections, 직접 선거제.
Okay. But the government back then didn't budge, did they?
No. So democracy is always, a long road. So President Chun Doo-hwan on April 13th, 1987, made a very public statement. And a lot of people were they had high expectations because by this point, they'd been protesting for a couple months. And we do have to go back to the protests that we saw last year. And when a president's going to make a statement, you're like, oh, maybe he will step down. Maybe we'll finally have democracy.
Right.
But actually, his statement is now what is referred to as 호헌 조치. So 조치 is measures. 호헌 is like 호위하다 헌법을. So he's going to safeguard the current constitution, which is a really fancy way of saying, I'm not doing anything.
I'm going to keep this.
Things are going to stay.
Wow.
Right.
That's got to have angered a lot of people.
Oh, you can absolutely bet on that. So basically, they're going to not talk about any form of reforms. So things keep going. Well, and here's the thing, though. In this era of social media, the immediate 24-hour news cycle, things are immediate. The president says something people don't like. People are going to comment on that news article. Some people are going to take their protest tools and go out to the streets. Things took time back then.
Okay.
About a month after this public statement, Busan launched the country's very first anti-호헌 national movement. So it took a month, but Busan was the very first city to do this.
Well, without, the internet to rally people up, it would have taken time to get the word out.
Right, absolutely. This all grassroots and everything was very analog. And the organization, amongst its nationwide sister organizations, they decided to hold a nationwide rally on June 10th. So we finally come to the big day. And this is where the big democratic protests that marked 6월 항쟁, so the uprisings throughout the month of June that year. So these protests starting on June 10th, they would go on for 20 days. And in Busan, over 300,000 people participated.
Okay.
By the way, back then, this was when Busan's population, so it was like a decent part of the population. So yeah.
Okay, they're interesting. So where did these protests take place? Would we know any of the places?
We do. So
places?
what's quite interesting is nowadays it seems that there is a designated spot in a city where it's like the political ground zero, right?
Okay.
In Seoul, that's Gwanghwamun usually,
Yes.
or Yeouido, depending on which protest we're talking about. In Busan, a lot of the times it's Seomyeon. But
yeah, that's true. You do see
see
them.
them. And the thing is, though, back in the 80s, it took place all across the city. So students staged sit-ins at the what's now Pugyong National University and Gyeongsang University. Back then, they were the Susande, the Fisheries University, and Sanopdae, the Industrial University.
Okay.
And then on June 14th, there was a baseball game between the Lotte Giants and Haedae. This is how old it is because there is no such team now.
Okay.
However, towards the end of the game, spectators started shouting out 독재 타도, out with autocracy. And this was during a baseball game.
This is because a baseball game is the perfect opportunity. People are already rallied,
Right.
And you can easily get the crowd riled up
Yes.
and go for this particular.
But interestingly, sometimes sporting events is how maybe some autocratic governments kind of veer attention away from politics.
Use it to their advantage.
Exactly. But here, people just weren't having it. So Sajik Stadium was a site of protest. A few days later, a young Busan man, Lee Tae-chun, he was hit with tear gas and fell from heights to his death from the overpass in Chwacheondong. So things took place all across. So after month-long protests across the nation, the administration announced on the fateful day, June 29th, they will give up the position to protect the constitution and introduce direct elections.
So they actually gave in. I guess the more people were getting angry, people
Right.
were protesting, deaths were happening, such as Lee Tae-chun.
Absolutely. So I do want, myself to remember, all of us remember, when we stamp that ballot tomorrow, or maybe you've done that, this is a result of bloodshed. It's a result of all the movements that happened before us to get us to that point.
It's interesting when you think of it like that. Almost every single thing that we enjoy freedom-wise today in any country around the world started with some kind of oppression and had to be worked with.
No country just had democracy fall onto their laps.
Exactly.
Maybe ancient Greece, but
I'm sure
apart from that, yes,
exactly. So what kind of a role did Busan play after the country's democratization?
Right. So we are now going to look at major politicians who came out of Busan. 3 presidents and plenty of other big names. So the first president to come out of Busan was former President Kim Young-sam.
Okay.
So although he was actually born in Kojae in Gyeongnam, he went to school at Gyeongnam High School, which is confusing, but it's in Busan.
Okay.
So he served as a 9-term lawmaker. 구선 의원, which is, a lifetime. That's 9 times 4. That's 36 years out of Seogu district, raising his status as one of the biggest political names. And this was during the autocratic regime. So he was kind of the major opposition voice.
He lived through this and
he did live
had a
through
fire
it.
in him. Yeah.
Right. So, of course, the Park Chung-hee regime attempted to remove him from the National Assembly. And that was actually one of the backgrounds for the Busan Masan uprising, which I believe I'll cover come October, closer to its anniversary. And then in 1993, Kim Young-sam would be elected president. So the first president out of Busan. And then another president was former President Roh Moo-hyun, who was born in Kimhae, but also went to high school here and served as a human rights lawyer in Busan. And by the way, that same office, the law office that he founded, another lawyer, his partner, was the third president from Busan, Moon Jae-in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were friends. They do go way back.
Yeah.
So actually, former President Roh, when he was the attorney, he was at the forefront of the June uprising because he was the executive director for one of the pro-democracy civic organizations in the city. Interesting anecdote, he was arrested, as many people were back then, for his pro-labor work. He had, because lawyers can sign up to represent a suspect or a defendant pro bono, he had 99 names, 99 lawyers signed up to represent him.
Wow.
This, by the way, was at a time when there were just over 100 registered attorneys in all of Busan.
So basically all of them.
He was a beloved man.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a major figure. Right. So, and this, regardless of political ideology, we're just looking at history and regional history. And so former President Moon Jae-in served as a lawmaker out of Sasang before he went on to be president. And another big name, just so we cover both ends of the spectrum, is An Cheol-soo.
Okay.
Right, who's run for president multiple times, lawmaker. Although he is now a lawmaker in Seoul, he was actually born in Busan's Bumcheon-dong. His father is actually a bigger name in the city, a late Dr. An Young-mo, one of the most respected people, period. Because he ran this clinic, Bumcheon 의원, for nearly 50 years. And he was, basically, he would just treat patients for free when medical care was not available.
It's not the chap who did it in Yeongdo, right? The one who did free medical care.
There were a couple, and he was definitely one of them.
That's fantastic. How many
Definitely
doctors?
one of them.
Yeah.
Right, and he actually ran this, and it's a humble clinic, ran this while his son was a prominent politician and while he was running for office the other times. So, so we're counting down to Election Day. Counting seems to be an overstatement when the number is 1. In any case, this is a reminder of how much weight Busan City has, and there's how much weight is behind that little piece of paper we're going to be stamping on, and what role Busan played and what role Busan could play in the country's past, present, and the future.
It's been fascinating, and really looking at this, it reminds you of how Korea developed technologically
so rapidly,
and in terms of politics as well, has changed so rapidly and so suddenly, for the better, many would see. So it's really interesting, and Haley, thanks to you, we've been able to appreciate what we have right now in Busan. So for everyone who can vote and is going to vote, do it with your hearts. And here's to a better tomorrow.
There we go.
Yeah. Haley, thank you so much. Always looking forward to the next episode of Busan Tales. I'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everyone. It is now 5:52 in the afternoon. We will be having our live show. Euration님 asked, 내일 포열 부산 휴방인가요? We will be doing a live show tomorrow. So after you voted or before you voted, please come and stop by and say hello. All the best tomorrow. Good luck, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. The show was produced by Jung Yuna, written by Hong Young-hwa. I've been your host, Nick. Our last song is Too Sweet by Hosier.
Said I'm an early bird. It's 10 o'clock before I say a word. Baby, I can never tell. How do you sleep so well? You keep telling me to live right, to go to bed before the daylight, but then you wake up for the sunrise. You know you don't gotta pretend. Baby, now and then, don't you just wanna wake up dark as a lake, smelling like a bonfire, lost in the haze. If you're drunk on life, babe, I think it's great. But while in this world, I think I'll take my whiskey and leave. My coffee black and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I take my whiskey and leave. My coffee black and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I aim low, I aim true, and the ground's where I go. I work late where I'm free from the phone, and the job gets done, but you worry some.